Hello and welcome to day 4 of the Supabase hackathon. I might have made a slight mistake and recorded the whole of this without any audio, so let me just walk you very quickly through what I did. Okay, so the first thing I did was to switch it out so that rather than having the main content on the homepage, the landing page, we just redirect directly to the newest page. And we moved all of what was in that page, this page, the landing page here, into /newest. That way, I can ensure that sort by isn't doing anything weird and funky, because for some reason it just wasn't working using search params, so I decided to just switch it to its own route. I'll include the sped up version of what I've done in the at the very end of the video, just so that that you can have it in case you want to follow along. But I'm just gonna very quickly run through what I've done. Okay, so the actual content of the page, which is what you saw earlier, minus this, was in page.tsx at the root directory, but I've moved it into its own component. That way we can get the sort by and page directly from the parent component and then just pass it in a type safe manner. Cool, so what I've done here is I've added a button so that it basically switches between popular and newest, and you can see it sorts either or. And the only other change that I've done is revalidate parts on the votes. So this basically ensures that once people vote, it basically says to Vercel NextJS, rebuild this page so that it has the most up-to-date content. And we want to update both newest and popular so that it always shows the most recent vote counts and stuff. So if you have a look here, sort by newest, this electrical or ice was added by me today, and this was added yesterday. And if you click sort by popular, then it swaps out. And same thing here. If you say, for example, add this and then sort by newest, then it swaps out and it remembers that I voted for electric or ice. And if you do sort by newest, or sorry, sort by popular, then they both show the same. If you remove the vote and refresh the page, then it goes back down, which is exactly what we need. Apologies for skipping out on that. My audio was completely turned off and I didn't realize until after I paused the video. But yeah, so as you can see, there's, I believe, no other changes. I was testing this because it was caching some data, but we can save that. In fact, yeah, there goes all the changes. There was no other changes. So if we close all of this, let's just make sure that we run through everything. So this page content component was inside this page.tsx file at the root, and we changed this just so that it stops caching and that we can use it in both the newest and popular pages. So this references page content, the component, and you just pass in the sort by. And you also pass in the page, which is coming from search params, which is awesome. Okay, and same thing here. Popular, the exact same content, just saying this is the only difference between these two pages. And then the homepage, the root directory, just directly redirects you to /newest. That way, when people land on the application, hit enter, they go straight to newest. Cool. Hopefully that makes all sense. And also this just says rebuild the page. Don't use the cached data, just rebuild it, and that way you always get the most up-to-date data. Okay, nice. Apologies for that again, and let's get into the next thing. So change username. This can be fiddly depending on how we want to do it, but let's start off by doing a actions.ts. Let's create a new file, user.ts, or actually profile.ts. Let's rename that. Export default async. async function. Actually, this doesn't need to be default. Let's use the const instead of that. Change username equals async new username and string. And what we want to do here is just make sure that they're logged in, because if they're not logged in, then they can't change their username because they don't have an account. Get user. This needs to be a wait. If not user or error, then we want to redirect to /login. Perfect. Let's import this from next navigation. If there isn't an error and they're logged in, then what we want to do is update their username. So let's get their ID. And let's make sure that they actually enter in a valid username. So if not new username dot train, return, yep, that's perfect. Actually, let's redirect them to their, let's create a new page for it, and then let's add a error username cannot be empty. Perfect. Okay. Otherwise we can just update prisma.profiles.update, and then this should be display name where ID, yeah, okay, and let's just make sure this goes through. Updated profile equals that. If not updated profile, then return something wrong. Else redirect to homepage. Whoops. Actually, it's not necessarily good practice redirecting them somewhere, so we'll change this to have a success message, and we can read that. Okay, so this always returns nothing. So let's have a look. Let's create a new directory for /settings, and we'll go from there. Settings, page.tsx, export default async function page. And this should only be visible if they're logged in. So that's the same case with /news. So if we just copy the code here, perfect. Get user, import that, and do the same thing here. Next navigation, return div change username. Actually, let's change this to have rather than a new username. Form data object, and let's get their username from the form data object. Username form data that will get username. Perfect. I believe that should work. And let's also get the search params. So the search params from here, we'll just copy this, paste that there. Const success message equals search params.success, could be null, and same thing for error. Okay, so user error, oops, account error, let's do that, and this should be account error. Okay, and let's also just render it out. So success and alert is what we want from the components. UI shadcn components. We just want to say this. Is there a success variant? No, there's only destructive. So we'll just leave it at that. And we'll duplicate this to have the error as well, if there is an error. If I can type variant, we want this to be destructive. Cool. And let's change these to be a shadcn component as well. Oh, not post CSS. Components, and we'll do the same thing for the button. Okay, this is going to look really ugly at first, but we can clean that up. Width full container. Let's see what happens. So if we go to /settings, then we need this to be a use server. Use server. Okay, beautiful. Let's make this look a bit better. Class name, text 3XL. Let's give it some space, so we need a gap between each of these, so 10. And same thing here. Class name flex call, gap 5. Change this to be new username. In fact, good practice would be to make the input and the label a bit closer than the actual the rest of the items. So flex call, gap 2. And that looks a bit better. So let's also preload this initial value. Actually, rather than saying settings or new username, we'll do hey, and then we'll type in display name, change the username. Okay, perfect. And we want to get their username, so const user equals prisma dot profiles dot find first, where that, and rather than calling this user, we'll call it a profile. Okay, and this should be profile dot display name. Okay. Okay, nice. Okay, so if I change this to Karthik and I hit change username, nice. Okay, perfect. That works. Karthik N, change username. That works. And if I enter nothing, username cannot be empty, and this says that. Okay, perfect. This is working quite well. Exactly what we want to see. Let's reduce the size here because it's a bit weird. Is there a placeholder? There is a placeholder. We'll do that then. Profile dot display name, and we'll do display name. So rather than this, change display name. Okay, nice. Cool. So we'll change this to have, say for example, root. And if we refresh, nice. Okay, so that's working. And if we go back home, we need to add a home button here, which would be a good idea. So if we just do that, it should say asked by root. Okay, fantastic. That is exactly what we want to see. So that's another thing ticked off. Okay, cool. So now to the actual funky stuff, the comments. Okay, so let's start off by creating a page where they can see the individual question and also a list of comments, and then we can go from there. So let's close this, close this, close this, and let's create let's create a new file under questions / question ID / page.tsx, and then export default async function page. And here we want to get the question ID, so that's coming from here. And we want to destructure this over here. Okay, so let's just make sure this is working. And if we go to question /1 questions, actually this should be question. So let's rename this to be question. And cool. So we're getting the question ID out of the param. Okay, nice. So let's start off by loading all of the visuals and like the voting ability and all of that from the homepage. So what we want to do is question card. Okay. All right, so let's render this over here, question card. And let's close it off, and then we can add in all the params after. So let's start off by handling question. So we want to do get question, refresh question. Let's stop guessing and have a look in the actions. Questions.tsx. Let's collapse all of these. Load question. Okay. Load question. Nope. That's const initial question equals load question. And this is coming from question ID. And initial question. Oh, this needs an await. And fixed it. Okay, so if not initial question, then return question not found. Perfect. Let's make this nice and chunky. Okay, so let's force this into a client component by doing use client at the top here. Reason it was fine earlier is because it was being used by another client component. So if you use a component that hasn't specified use server or use client from a client component, then it defaults to use client. Cool. I don't know why the kerning is off there, but we'll figure that out later. Question. Okay, so what's the issue here? ID question views created up. Hold on. Let's just check this. Question. How's it being used in question less string draw? Initial questions, refresh question. Ah, okay. So refresh question is giving us back this. Okay, so we need to destructure that. So this comes to data and relevant votes. Answer counts even. What's the issue? Oh, okay. Okay, so initial questions. Okay, now here we need to do, we can destructure them, I believe. Data, and we want to get answer counts. Okay, perfect. So this can be data, which is fine, and relevant votes is answer counts. And what else do we need? Handle vote. Okay. I think it would be a good idea to put this into a client component just so that we can handle the state for all of it. So let's create a new components directory here, and we'll do a individual question renderer. Actually, let's just call it individual question tsx. And what we'll do is we'll just return this. Cool. Let's import this. And what we want from here is question ID. Okay, sure. Question type, which is correct. We want the relevant votes, which is that. We want handle vote, and actually, does it return? Handle vote. Relevant votes, and this should be question. Delete question. Okay. Delete question. What else do we need? Let's have a look. Delete vote and user ID. Anything else? No. Okay, it doesn't seem like it. Okay, so delete vote. And user ID. Okay, delete vote and user ID. Okay, nice. The reason we want to put this into a client component is we want to be able to handle these ourselves in case, say, for example, something doesn't go through. Then we can show a pop-up saying this failed, and then go from there. So let's remove this. Let's just wrap it inside a div. Whoops. And we want to do individual question. And here we can just import everything. Oh, God. Question ID is going to be question ID. Delete question is going to be delete question coming from the actions. Question data. Yep. Handle vote. Handle vote. Okay. We'll fix these in a second. Delete vote. Delete vote. And user ID. Okay. User ID. Are we getting user ID anywhere? Doesn't seem like it. So let's do that. And user.id. Okay. So whoops. Let's go to delete vote. Delete vote, what's the data type? It can return a success boolean. So individual question. And it's just delete question. That can return another one. So delete question. Okay. For delete question, what does it actually, where does it take you? What happens if you delete a question? Return success is true. Okay, we'll handle that client side, but in theory that should be handled more server side, but we'll deal with that in a second. Okay, so let's copy over the handle functions from the page question card, not question card, page, not page, question list renderer. That's the one. You want to handle these three, and we want to paste that there. And we want this to be const question. We don't need question actually. We just need relevant votes. Set relevant votes. Yeah, okay. Relevant V, okay. You know what, actually, we do need to hold on to question. Okay, perfect. We'll just call this Q. Oh. We need to update this to be Q and relevant V. Okay. Set. What was it changing? Okay, so here, this is what we need the router for. Okay. So, don't know how to manage that. Const router equals use router. Use router. And we want to import this from next navigation. So let's go down here, handle delete question. Router dot, and then push that. Okay. And we need to change this to handle delete question. Handle delete question. Handle vote. Handle delete vote. Handle vote. We'll just change this to vote and change this to vote. Second type. vote, and do the same thing over here, choose to vote. Questions. Okay, so because we don't have an array, we can just update set question to that. Refresh question. We're passing this in anywhere? No, we're not. Okay, let's get that going. Refresh question. Like so. Let's import this in as well. Relevant. Sorry, not relevant. Refresh question. Okay, so let's change this. If not updated question, then we need to handle that properly. If it does, then set question to that. Set. Okay, perfect. And we want to do this pretty much all of the places below, so we'll just copy this. And we'll... I think that's fine. There's an issue here. Refresh question, load question. Okay. And we need to mark this as a use client. Question not found, which is perfect. And let's make it so that if you click on... Let's create a button called view next to delete. That way you can click into it and then you can view comments and stuff. Question ID. So this is going to be inside question card. Okay, let's get the router going. Const router equals use router. Have we imported the right place? No, we haven't. So be careful when using router. We need to make sure that imports from Next Navigation and not from anywhere else. And let's find this button. Let's put a div around it so that they're grouped together. Let's create a button. View. On click, we want to send them to router.push. That seems right. Class name flex row gap 2. Okay, and you know what? Just because it's looking a bit chaotic, let's change the variant to outline. Okay, a bit better. So if we click view, I think we need to set the width to full. Okay, individual question. Let's have a look here. Class name width full, flex scroll, and we'll put this inside a container. No. Question card width full. Let's have a look. There's an empty div above it. Okay, so where's that come from? This individual card. Let's go to the page above it. Class name flex scroll width full container. Okay, nice. There we go. And if we vote, then that's working perfectly. And if we delete, can we delete the vote? Yep, delete vote is working. In fact, view should not be here because we're already on that page. So what I'm going to do, inside question card, I'm going to add a parameter saying show view button, and this is going to be an optional boolean that defaults to true. So let's wrap this function inside a show view button add. Okay, so inside individual question, you can scroll down to question card and we can do show view button to false. Okay, nice. So it will still show at home. So if you go to home, then the view button will still be visible. So, okay, now let's test delete. So if we delete this question, there shouldn't be a question that exists with this ID, which means that you should, in theory, be routed back home. Let's, have I done that? Router.pef. Okay. Delete. Aha. Okay, so it's caching again. So what we need to do now is okay, we just need to do revalidate path and then that. Not that, sorry. Popular and newest. So if I refresh this, let's create a new question. Electrical ice, electric ice, hit submit. Click view, click delete. Nice, okay, cool. In fact, where else should we be doing this? New question. Okay, so this should revalidate both. So let me just copy this. Revalidate. What is this function? Load questions, fine. Load questions is also fine. I think it would be a good idea to add a revalidate path / question plus question ID. Although this can be slightly neater between question ID, like that. And same thing here. In fact, we should probably do that for delete question as well. So inside of delete question, we'll do the same. Okay, nice. Cool, so now we've got a page that shows the individual question, and below that we can add the comments, either for or against. Cool, so now that that's done, let's add a new actions called comments.ts. And here we want to set up 4 functions, basically CRUD. So add comment equals, and we actually want to tie it to an answer ID. So string and then the actual text, string. We want to do the same for update comment, but this will only have a comment ID and that. So you can't change the answer once you posted the comment. So export delete comment, and then what's the other one? Oh, load. Thank you, ChatGPT. Right, cool. In fact, here we want to add a page as number. and we want to do the same. So yeah, okay, cool. So okay, let's start with add comment. So when we want to add a comment, we want to assign it to an answer ID. So let's start by getting the user. So user error equals get user. Import this and wait. And I forgot this needs to be async. If error or not user, then we want to redirect them to login. Yeah, okay. We'll stick with that for the moment. And if that's all fine, then let's get the ID of the user. So user.id. And let's create the comment. So comment equals await prisma.comments.create. And okay, so comment is text created by ID. So so this comment doesn't actually, is it missing something? What is it missing? It's missing a question ID. Okay, so we need to pass in a question ID here. User ID. Yeah, user ID doesn't exist. Have I not included that in the schema? Let me have a look. Schema.prisma comments. I haven't. Okay, so let's include user ID and user. Let's create that connection, and we'll do a final push. Oops. Just end. Prisma migrate dev. And I'm not connected to a VPN this time, so it should all go through. And I forgot to hit save. That will do it. Added user to comments table. And let's generate a generate dev. Cool. npm run dev. And hopefully user ID. Still missing something. Let's change this from this to answer ID. Oh, okay, cool. That works. And rather than doing this, let's return an error. Whoops. Saying that. Otherwise, return success as true. Okay, cool. So I believe we'll need this for each of these. So let's paste that there. Paste that there. Actually, we don't need it for load comments. This needs to be async, and this also needs to be async. So, is that right? We'll comment ID, user ID, it's ID. Yep. Okay. So, if not comment, then return an error occurred. Return success. Okay. And if we want to delete, then let's push that. Sorry. delete, then that works. If not comment, then otherwise we want to return success is true. Okay, nice. And finally for the load. Okay, so here I won't let them choose a page size, just for the sake of simplicity. But I think that should be good enough. We'll do a couple of includes here as well. We want to include the user. In fact, we really only want to include one field from the user, which is their display name. This is true. That. And in fact, no, that's not const comments equals the weight, and let's basically as well. We also want to check how many comments there are in total. So let's do a count. So it's ready, and let's return comments and total comments. Okay, nice. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So let's go into question/question IDE components, and here we want to create a component that will handle all of the loading and rendering of the comments. So comments for answer.tsx, export default function comments for answer, and we want to pass in the CRUD functions that we saw earlier. So we want an answer ID. We want to load comments. We want a create comment, update comment, delete comment. Answer ID is string. Load comments should take an answer ID and potentially a page, which is type number. We don't want a take. Answer ID needs to be of type string. And this should return a promise with comments. Let's create a new type of comments. Comments, and we want to merge this together with user, and we want display name. Wrong language. String. Okay. Comment type. And we also want total comments, which is a number. Can't type today. For create comment, we want to have an answer ID and text, and we want this to return success, which is potentially not there, and we also want a error that is a string. Believe it's the same thing here, comment ID, and yep, and believe it's just comment ID here, and yep, exactly same thing. Okay, nice. Okay, let's start by handling the list of comments. View state. Total comments it really should be a constant. I'm just going to make the assumption that the comments don't change during the life cycle of the application just for the sake of this, because handling pages and then handling comments gets very fiddly. So we won't have a stateful variable for the count. And let's just return divs. Use effect, and the use effect will run on startup and it will load the initial comments. So let's create a function called load comments. Or is that's what it's called already. Handle load comments. Handle load comments. This should just be an equals. This should be async. And what we want to do is exactly this. We do want to handle what page we're on. So we'll do page, set page. Okay, nice. And here we want to do page. In fact, let's pass page in here. Let's say number. Set page. Should be comments, right? Okay, cool. Okay, nice. And the first thing we want to do is handle load comments. We'll see issue. It's expecting a page. So we'll start off with 0, and then as this changes, then we'll update. Okay. We also want this comments. So existing comments. We want to sort them so that it's always in a specific order. So let's do that here. Sort comments with existing comments. So let's do const all comments equals existing comments, and then comments. And then we should be able to do a dot sort with a b. And they should return a dot created at, which is of type date, dot is there a dot compare? Oh, we'll just do that. That works. But does the dot sort return? Yeah. Okay. So it returns a dot this. Okay. So all comments. So we can just return this. Return. Okay. Cool. Let's just make sure that they're not returning more than that, and it should. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Cool. Let's just do this for the moment. Let's create a comment manually in the dashboard, in the Supabase dashboard. Supabase.com dashboard, my hackathon table, comments. Okay. Let's insert a new row. I believe that can be auto-generated. Can it not? Okay, let's just choose yay. Oh, no, let's choose nay. Sorry, I'm against pizzas. Question ID, there should only be one. Cool. Remove myself. And this is created by this account. Ew. Save? Nope. Okay, so let's just use one. And let's choose right now. I worked. Same thing here. And we hit save. Okay. For the moment, let's just do a JSON.stringify and then comments so that we can actually see the result. And let's actually put this inside of our individual question. So here we want to comments for answer and then close it off like that. Oh, okay, let's do this one at a time. Answer ID is gonna be that. Load comments is going to be load comments. This is a client component. What's the issue? Page number. Oh, this can be an optional. Priority the page under load comments page. Equals 0. This is because of the type difference. So comment dot map c dot. Let's just close this off so that it stops crying us. Comments c dot user dot display name. Shouldn't be complaining. Display name is type string or not? Oh, okay, that could be it. Individual? Nope, not in there. Not in there. It should be in comments. Where's the comment type? What? Comment type. Or no, or undefined. That's not going to fix it. Oh no, that did fix it, sorry. It's completely fine. Nope, that unfixed it. Or undefined. Is that going to fix it? Nope. No. That's going to fix it, okay. Cool. So create comment, add comment. Update comment, and delete comment. Okay, what's the issue here? Target signature provides too few arguments. Expected 3. Answer ID. I need a question ID as well. Okay, create comment. Question ID. type string. So we need to pass question ID into here as well. Duplicate this question ID. Let's put a comment. And question ID. Question ID. Okay, nice. So let's see if this works. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
On the server component. Should be fine. Not supported in the pages directory. Supabase server.ts. That shouldn't be an issue. Right, let's do some digging. I probably imported something from somewhere where I shouldn't have done. Or there's comments. This is missing a U sub, so I would do it. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Whatever works, I guess. I guess so yay has no comments, which is right. So let's have a look at what happens if we do 1. Nice. Okay, cool. So this has got all the information that we need. It's got for some reason it's got this twice. So let's have a look at how this happened. Handle comments. Set of comments, existing comments. Okay. I think we also should just filter out if they've got a duplicate. Why would this be happening? I mean, I know that use effect sometimes gets triggered twice on load. So it's running this once, page 0, and then it's just, no, not T0. And then it's just adding it again. Which seems to be what is happening. So, okay, let's just make sure that's what's happening. Whoops. If we refresh this, 1 loads and 2 loads. 1 loads and 2 loads. Okay. So this should only ever happen once. Let's have a look. Handle load comments, page, blah. I don't like use effects, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pass in the initial comments. We'll get it from the server. Initial comments, and this is going to start complaining. So, This is client server, sorry, client component as well. The individual question. Let's have a look. Oh, that's going to be painful. Actually, no, never mind. I'm not going to do that because otherwise I need to do some prop drilling. So what I'm going to do instead is very, very yucky. I recommend you don't copy what I'm doing, but it's the only way that I can think of doing it right now. Loading comments. Or loading comments. Set loading comments to true. Set loading comments to false. Okay, if we hit refresh, it still loads twice. Why does it load twice? Let's just do a console log. Loading. Oh, comments. Yeah, it's running it twice. What an absolute pain. Okay, so that obviously doesn't work because yeah, no, that doesn't work. The reason that doesn't work is because set loading comments doesn't mean that it sets it straight away. It says I'm going to do this at a future time, but obviously use effect is being called at the same time twice, which is why it's doing this. So the only nice way I can think of doing this is just to filter out the results. So rather than returning the results right here, so const all comments equals that, and then I'll remove chips. Yucky. Sure. Okay. Well, that's fixed it. Okay, now let's just make this look nice. So rather than just doing this, we'll put this inside a card, and that's fixed up. Class new flex call, justify. We'll just leave that empty for the moment. And we want this padding 5. And what we're going to do is we're going to loop over each card. And that. I don't know why that's there, but let's remove the P5. Give it a border. Actually, let's not give it a border. Yeah, you know what? We'll trust you, ChatGPT. Bottom border B. Let's give it some vertical padding, so P with 3. And rather than doing it like this, let's just remove this, let's do that, and that works. Okay, it's not particularly nice, but it will do for the moment. So what I'm gonna do here is okay, so const handle create comment. Let's do this here. before we do that, we want to actually go through comments and do a dot clear. Is there a clear? Dot clear? Or just set comments to empty. That way it refreshes everything from scratch. We should probably add some sorting to this, because this could get lost, but we'll do that in a second. Okay, and at the bottom of this card, we want a nice input component, which will perfect. We'll do value, new comment, change, placeholder, thank you ChatGPT, and we'll add a button, not from Shrama. This will be disabled if not new comment. Okay, and let's put these two on the same line. And we want there to be a slight gap, so yeah. And we also want this one to grow, so let's do flex grow. Okay, so listening to me almost. Okay, we only want this to do bottom. Last border none. That's not gonna do it. Border B none. Border B 0. Nope. Border none. You know what, let's just remove the border for the moment. I'll figure that out in a second. Okay. So on click, handle create comment, new comment, see what happens. Add comment. Okay, nice. And we also want this to clear out, set new comment to empty. Okay. Another comment. Okay, nice. So it seems to be working. We want a way to delete this and also load more. So do flex row, put this inside of a div in case we want to put some more stuff in there, and then we'll add a button that says delete. We'll handle editing in a second. So on click, we want to delete comment. We'll do handle delete. Const handle delete comment equals yeah, okay. Oh, okay, let's make this look nice. Justify between. In fact, let's make this an icon rather than that. So trash. And we want this size to be icon and icon, and we want the variant to be destructive. Okay, nice. Let's see what happens. Delete. Delete. And delete. Another one. Add comment. Nice. Cool. So that's working. Right, so now to get to the fiddly bit. Okay, so const editing comment. And rather than this being comment type, we'll do string. Actually, no, we need comment type. Actually, do we need comment type? Let's change this to either have a... Yeah, okay, that's perfect. That. Well, actually, I've just realized. So this button shouldn't be visible for everyone, but let's handle editing comment first, and then we can figure that out. So duplicate this and say this should only be visible. This should only be visible. This should only be visible if editing comment. So if there isn't an editing comment, i.e. it's null, if not editing comment, and then they should be visible. Edit a comment. Set editing comment to editing comment, yep, like that. Handle edit comment. Okay. Like so. Okay. Right, let's do the function to handle edit content. Edit comment. Even. Comment should that. Okay, update comment if not success return. So editing comment. And all load comments 0. Okay, actually, let's change this to, rather than refreshing all of the comments, we want to do comments, existing comments, comments dot filter, or map even. Yeah, that exactly. We'll see issue. We want to do the spread operator here. Okay, nice. Alright, so how do we actually... Is that centered? That's not centered. Let's center that very quickly. Item center. Okay, better. And let's duplicate this icon and put a div around both. Last name flex row gap 2. Okay, and rather than this button having that, we'll do a pen box, and rather than it being destructive, we'll do ghost. Okay, nice. So if we hit edit, oh, that would do it. That, okay. New comment, add comment. Now if we edit comment, updated comment. Let's change this text to be update comment. Update comment. And now if we refresh the whole page, then it loads the correct thing. And if we delete, that works. Okay, cool. That seems to all be working. Now let's just add the other side, as it were. So individual comments, and what we want to do is that answers. You don't need answer, we need answer ID. Answer ID. And we actually do need user ID, but we haven't passed that in. User ID. User ID string. And in fact, this comment should have a user ID here as well. So let's change this. What's the issue here? Oh, undefined. Refresh question. Okay, we'll remove that. I don't know why that's set. What are we missing? Load comments. Load comments. Okay. For load comments, not there. Here, we also want to take the ID, which is true. Okay, so in comments for answer, we want to display or hide this div based on the user ID. So user ID is the same as comment dot user dot sorry, this shouldn't be ID. Sorry, it shouldn't be user ID. This should be user ID. This should be ID. And this should be side by side rather than vertical. So go to div. Div. Plus new flex row to justify stretch. We'll just put a width 4 in here just in case. Put this in the wrong place. Yep. Really in my mind. This should be in individual question. And duplicate this. And now inside of here, we just add another width 4. And let's add a teeny tiny bit of padding at the top here. So individual questions, gap 2. Okay, nice. So who on earth likes pineapple on pizza? Add comment. Okay. Not me. Wait, sorry. Love it. Add comment. And now if we log out, we should still be able to see. Okay, so you can see that the button's gone here. And if we click nay, it should take us to login, which is exactly what we want. If we hit view. Lovely. Okay, so we can still see the comments, but we can't vote. We can see the votes. Exactly. Okay, perfect. Can we vote post a new question? No, we can't. It tells us to log in. And it says it's loaded all. And I think Let's go back to our to-do list. Got a bit messy towards the end, but X. Okay, well, I think I'm not gonna have time to do this, but I'd say give it a go. Try just cloning your own project and cloning this project and doing this yourself. And we'll see where it takes us, I guess. One more final touch I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a home button here, because it's irritating me as well. So if we go to layout.tsx, I believe, is where the nav is. Yep, okay. Justify and justify between. So let's put a div here. Make this class flex row cap 2, and we'll put a button that says that connects to home, and we want this variant to be a ghost away and as drawn. That way we will always have a way to go home. So even if we're in this page, we can always click home and it will take us there. So what popular. Okay, cool. Well, that is all. I hope you guys enjoyed this series. It has taken me a stupid amount of work. So if this was by any means helpful, useful, you enjoyed following along, please feel like you can hit that thumbs up button. It helps the algorithm know that I'm doing decently, putting out decent content. So that would be fantastic. Well, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.